There we go. It helps if I'm not muted, right? Okay, so today we are going to start off, excuse me, our Zoom call with a book. We are going to read this book called Coasting Casey. So give me just a moment to adjust my screen so that you get the full picture. And in the chat, I would like you to write what you think it means to coast. What does it mean to coast? Okay. So just enjoy listening. I'm going to ask you some questions at the end. Okay. Coasting Casey, a tale of busting boredom in school. Casey, please pay attention, says my teacher, Mr. Tay. Oops, he caught me drifting off. It happens every day. My teachers think I'm lazy, but I'm smart when I want to be. So, what if my grades don't show it? They don't really matter much to me. My teachers say I'm coasting, that I only do well enough. Sometimes I'm just so bored, I say, I don't care about this stuff. Schoolwork seems so pointless. Every day is the same old deal. It's like I'm going nowhere on a hamster on a wheel. Look at Casey in the hamster wheel. I'd rather sketch and doodle. I love to make music too. I wish I could trade my school books for markers and a kazoo. Mr. Tay says, Casey, study. Tomorrow is the big test. He smiles and pats my shoulder. He wants me to do my best. But at test time, something happens. My pen has a mind of its own. Fracto 2000. I've covered my desk in doodles. To the principal's office I go. Uh-oh. While I wait, my pen goes wild. A critter appears on my jeans. Got sent to Principal Clark's office. The principal says, Hi, Casey. And then, a giant bug, she screams. Can you see that? Yeah. I say, It's just a drawing, and give a little smile. Oh, wow, she says, You're an artist. Come talk with me a while. She makes me stay after school to clean up where I drew. Uh-oh, there's the Fracto 2000. After all the scrubbing, she says, I have a surprise for you. She shows me a roll of paper. Let's see what you can do. At home, I make a huge banner, the best art I've ever done. I fill every spot to the edges. I can't wait to show everyone. I'm excited to get to school. My heart's thumping like a drum. I go to the principal's office to show her what I've done. Principal Clark looks delighted and says, "Congratulations." And then I find the courage to ask, "Can we hang up my creation?" I feel so happy and proud. She really believes in me. My banner is on the wall for everyone to see. I decide I like doing well. How can I do some more? My head is full of ideas for turning my snores into scores. Hmm, something changed with Casey. Sorry, I couldn't turn the page. In math, we're making charts. I want to do more than graph. I draw a tiny monkey and a supersized giraffe. Is that still a graph? That's pretty cool. It's pretty creative, actually. Look at all of the ways he did it differently. Whoa. Look at even this one. Still shows and compares the data. Lots of different ways. Next, it's time for writing a story, poem, or song. I get to share my music while the others clap along. Mr. Tay is always sharing great things that people have done. We talk about how trying hard can inspire everyone. I think about what inspire means as we all work on a poster. How can I learn to do my best and not just be a coaster? I focus and pay attention. I help out others more. I even think about my grades. I try harder than before. All my work is paying off. At school, I'm not as bored. The report card's my best one ever, and I've earned an effort award. I've changed the way I see things, and I'm proud of what I've done. I know I have the power to help make learning fun. Once I was coasting Casey, but that's not me anymore. I've learned to give new things a try, and school doesn't feel like a chore. Who knows what else I'll discover about all I can do and be? Now, that's good enough isn't enough. The sky's the limit for me. Okay. I want to read this to you. This is a nice little note to you as a student. Let me get my shadow out of the way. Okay. Where'd my pen go? I don't know if you can see this. There we go. I've been a teacher, and this is the author talking to you. I've been a teacher for over 20 years. Although I always look forward to what each day brings at school, I know not all students feel the same way. How about you? You may know that learning in school is important for your future, but how can you make sure that while you're learning, you're also getting a chance to explore your interests? If you love drawing or making music like Casey, How can you use those skills to help you in other subjects? For starters, you could talk to your teacher. Teachers can't usually take away the things that are a struggle for you or that you find boring, but they can let you add something to those subject areas to make them more fun and more interesting. So, for example, if you told your teacher, Mrs. Signs, you have a passion for poetry, maybe you could write a poem about something you're learning in history and then share it with others. Could even maybe do it about frogs, right? If you like to move or play, you could come up with a game to help the class practice a new concept or add motions to facts that you need to memorize. Teachers, Mrs. Signs loves seeing students full of ideas and eager to learn. So, share your thoughts and your interests and your excitement with me. And let's see what cool plans you can come up with or we can come up with together. And then we could even let her know what some of our ideas are. Okay, so Coasting Casey. It's a pretty amazing book, isn't it? Let me put him back up here. Take a picture of that. There we go. Coasting Casey. In the chat, I'd like you to write down, why do you think this was called Coasting Casey? Tyler, please don't do that anymore. Okay. Thank you. Just respond to the questions. Oh, Andrew, I think he maybe did grow up to be an art teacher. It was called Coasting Casey. He was bored at school. Oh, excellent. He was not doing much, was he, Dylan? You're right. He zones out because he was coasting at first and then he stopped. He has he was always coasting. Okay. Yeah, he was bored at school. In the chat, Mrs. Science isn't going to judge, I promise. Have you ever been bored at school? Go ahead and write. Yeah, sure. Casey was definitely bored at school, and that showed, didn't it? He was coasting. He was like, I don't care about this. This is boring. This is awful. I don't want to do this. How many of you this year maybe have struggled with coasting or boredom a little bit more than you ever have because of being at home and COVID and everything, right? There are times that, in fact, this morning when I said goodbye to Aaron, he was at home. He was struggling to get motivated, and he has a test today at 9:30, and he was struggling. He did not want to open up his computer and start working. Have any of you ever felt that way? Yeah, maybe especially these last 2 weeks, right? When we've gotten out of our routine. Yeah. Yeah. So, I see a lot of you are agreeing with that yes, you've been bored sometimes or unmotivated, maybe. Um, Casey changed though. How did Casey change? What changed inside of Casey? I like how you are typing your responses to my questions. How has Casey changed? He stopped coasting. So, what caused that, Dylan? Tell us more. Type more, please. What changed inside of him that caused him to stop? Principal said he could draw anything. So he did. Oh, Henry, he learned to share ideas. Okay. He thought that school was fun after the people believed in him. I love that. I think, forget who just wrote that. He was allowed to be creative. He was appreciated. His thoughts of report card made him happy. Yeah. How many of you kind of feel like Casey that if someone believes in you and someone encourages your passions, how does that make you feel? Yeah. So this is going to be a hard question for me to hear your responses. I hope I know what your answers are going to be, but I want you to be honest with me. Do you feel that you are encouraged here at school? And if not, what are some things that maybe Mrs. Signs has overlooked? Or do you feel like you're believed in? Do you feel like you come to school and know that your teachers believe in you or your teacher, right? Because I'm pretty much, and you've got some special areas. Good. Do you feel that when you come to school and you have an idea and you want to do something special, you're allowed to? Like, let's say with frogs, I know Henry loves music. What if Henry wrote a song about frogs and played it on the piano? Do you think it would be okay for him to share that? Absolutely. So, what's interesting about Casey is Casey did, and I know those of you that are at home can't see this, but what is over our doorway? What is the rule in this classroom? What is that? Anyone? There it is, Andrew. It says take responsibility. Did you notice that Casey took responsibility? Did you catch that? It wasn't that school was boring because some things I can't change, right? And some things his teacher couldn't change. But did he go, okay, this is how it's going to be, but how can I make this fun? He took the responsibility. Do you see that change in him? Okay, good morning. Excellent. Okay, so that is Coasting Casey. And we are going to come back to this later. I would like you just for a moment in the chat before we move on to write about something that you have a passion for. Maybe it's cooking or baking or Gunner. I know that you talk a lot about sword making and um, football. What is it that you have a passion for? Mm, love it. Beautiful. See lots of soccer and sports and Legos and music, coding. This gives tons of ideas of how we can take what we're doing and maybe I can help you think of ways to make things creative and add to what it is we're doing. Okay. We are going to go ahead and stop our discussion on coasting Casey, and we'll come back to it later.